How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. This terrifies a narcissist more than anything. That's the title of this video. Narcissists wear a mask. It is polished, confident, even charming, but underneath there's a fragile ego that's constantly in fear of being shattered. The greatest fear of a narcissist isn't anger. It's not even rejection. It is exposure. Exposure strips away the carefully curated image they've spent their entire life creating. Narcissists fear people seeing who they really are, that is insecure, unsure, and emotionally hollow. What truly terrifies a narcissist is the idea that someone might see past their performance. Narcissists need constant validation to survive. Without it, their entire identity crumbles. The moment people stop reacting to their manipulations, they lose power. That loss of control is devastating to them. Silence terrifies a narcissist. When you stop engaging, stop reacting, and stop validating, it leaves them gasping for attention. Indifference cuts deeper than hate. At least hatred is a form of engagement. Indifference is like watching them drown while you walk away. They are terrified of someone saying no and meaning it. Boundaries are their kryptonite. Healthy boundaries make them feel irrelevant. And that irrelevance, it eats at their sense of superiority. A narcissist needs to be the center of your universe. When you make yourself the center of your own, they panic. They fear emotionally intelligent people, people who can see through manipulation and not fall for the guilt trips. The moment you recognize the game is over. That scares them. What scares the narcissist more is when you not only recognize it, but you choose to walk away. Being replaced terrifies the narcissist, especially when you replace them with peace, self-love, or healthy relationships. When you glow up after them, emotionally, physically, mentally, it shakes their core. They want to believe they were your best option. Your upgrade is proof they were never that special. Narcissists thrive on control. So losing control over how you see them is deeply unsettling to them. They spend so much energy managing their image. When that illusion breaks for just one person, it threatens their whole system. They fear people comparing notes. When victims talk, patterns emerge, and patterns expose them. That's why narcissists isolate you. They don't want you empowered. They want you dependent and confused. The moment you get clarity, they get scared. Clarity leads to distance, and distance threatens their supply. Their worst fear is becoming irrelevant in your story. They feed off being needed. When you don't need them, it challenges their worth. They say they want love, but what they really want is control, disguised as love. True intimacy terrifies the narcissist. Vulnerability isn't strength in their world, it's danger. So when you ask for emotional depth, they deflect or withdraw. They're terrified of being truly seen. And ironically, they crave admiration but hate real connection. Because connection requires authenticity. Authentic people make narcissists uncomfortable. You're not playing their game, you're just being real. Narcissists can't manipulate someone who isn't chasing approval. Narcissists fear accountability. They fear being held responsible for their actions. And this is something they will avoid at all costs. And that's why narcissists lie. They deflect, they blame, and they gaslight. The truth feels like a threat. But deep down they know. They know when they're hurting people. They just don't want to feel the consequences. And that's what scares them. Someone who doesn't let them escape consequences. Narcissists are terrified of being called out in front of others. Public exposure is their nightmare. Not because they'll be embarrassed, but because their carefully controlled narrative might crumble. They'll smear you to avoid that collapse. That smear campaign is a sign of their fear, not their strength. You choosing peace over drama is a threat to their chaos. They don't know how to handle peace. Narcissists fear your healing because healed people don't come back. They especially fear you discovering your worth. A person who knows their value is no longer manipulatable. When you stop explaining yourself, they feel powerless because they can't twist your words if you don't give them any. Grey-rocking is a method where you respond blandly to limit emotional engagement. And this grey-rocking confuses and terrifies narcissists. Narcissists need emotional reaction to feel significant. Without it, they feel invisible. In short, narcissists fear being seen as average. They fear being seen as mediocre, replaceable, because deep down, the narcissist knows that they are average, that they are mediocre, and that they are replaceable. They fear you telling your story because your truth is a spotlight on their darkness. Narcissists also fear self-aware empaths. Empaths who have done their healing are their worst nightmare. The narcissist's worst nightmare is an empath who has healed. Because those empaths who have healed, they now have boundaries. And they also have emotional intelligence. And they also have receipts. So, when you no longer need closure, that terrifies the narcissist. It means you've closed the door without them. When you wish the narcissist well, but you walk away, that shakes them. It scares them. Because they cannot argue with peace. But what scares a narcissist more than anything else is losing control over someone who finally chose themselves. Let me repeat that again. What scares a narcissist more than anything else is losing control over someone who finally chose themselves. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so.